Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning for our, what is this, March edition of Office Hours. I don't even know what month it is. And we answer your questions about WordPress, online business, online courses, any one of our plugins, WP Courseware, S3 Media Maestro, or Churnly, or basic questions in general. We'll answer just about anything. Thanks for joining us. I'm here with my two good friends, Nate and Corey, and we are the Fly Plugins team. So good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're just going to take a look here. What do we have? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. This is our 18th episode of Office Hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Year and a half.
Wow. Yeah. It's fun. And every time we do it, I totally enjoy this. This is a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we answer your questions. So we've got, I've got YouTube Live open, so you can comment on YouTube Live. I've also got our webinar chat window open as well. So if you want to submit questions there as well. And I've also got my Facebook page open where I just submitted a post this morning reminding people about office hours. If you want to comment there, we can answer questions based on that as well. So we're taking questions from just about anywhere. So if you have questions, go ahead, reach out. We'd love to answer them.
Absolutely. We just had, so we could, just so everyone knows, we collect these, we collect email submissions of questions throughout the month.
Yes.
In between these office hours meetups, and it looks like we just got one new one. Actually, no, it's not. I thought it was, but we've got several in the queue here.
Cool.
Since our last session on February 22nd.
Well, let's dive in. Let's get in these questions, man.
Should we get to it?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Got my coffee. I'm good.
So
all right.
We actually just got one in the Zoom Q&A from Edith from an attendee.
Okay.
Maybe we want to start with her.
Sure.
Let's do it.
So she says, hi, do you have a guarantee to your plugin? If so, what is it?
Go ahead. I'll let you answer that.
We don't technically have a refund policy, but if you try it out and something's not working, we just ask that you contact us first, contact support. We'll see if we can fix it, because there are so many, 50,000 plugins and probably 20,000 WordPress themes. And so sometimes it's just an issue of fixing some code. But if it absolutely does not work for you, then we can refund your purchase.
We also take pre-sale questions. There's a form on our website. We do pre-sale questions. So if you have any question, we can answer that before you purchase. We might be able to answer that. The other thing is we have a demo site along with what is it, like a kind of a support site that has a ton of articles showing how to use the plugin. So you've got YouTube videos. There's a ton of resources where you can kind of just check out what the plugin is. But if you have any questions whatsoever, we would be glad to answer them ahead of time.
Yeah, and that's on our website, just under the questions tab and the header in the navigation bar. So if you have a specific concern, and I do this pretty often with pre-sales, if you have a specific concern about a plugin or a theme conflict, I can fire up an installation, test it out.
Cool. We just got a comment. So we got a comment and a question. I noticed here in our webinar window from Ian. So I'll go ahead and read this out. He said, just finished testing a SCORM compliant plugin with WP Courseware. Didn't even know we had one of those out there. So it's from elearningfreak.com. It works perfectly so far as it allows SCORM compliant output. Wow, that's really cool. From Articulate. So Articulate is a form you can create content and upload it apparently, and it's SCORM compliant. It follows all the compliancy rules or whatever for SCORM. There's one for iSpring as well. It says it works well. Does not, however, send progress back into WPC, but this is a plugin limitation, not WPC. So that's really cool. I did not know that. So he has a question. Does WPC intend to work with somebody to build a better SCORM link? That's a great question. We've had a few of these requests over the years. It's not been one of our priorities to make our plugin SCORM compliant. It used to be Tin Can API or something like that. And we've not made it priority, not because we don't want to or because we don't like it or something like that. It's just simply we've not had a ton of interest in it. We basically log all of our feature requests, and we kind of calculate those out and count them up and that sort of thing. And we've just not. It just doesn't seem like our user base or our customers have a requirement for SCORM compliancy within their courses. So if this is something that there's this video is obviously going to be up on YouTube. So if you are a WP Courseware user and you need SCORM, please let us know. We do document that, and if it's something that in the future we get more interest in that sort of thing, absolutely, we'd love to add that into the plugin, or maybe make an add-on or something that can come alongside WP Courseware. But that's really cool. And I wonder if we couldn't, contact elearningfreak.com and see if we can't make that one better. I know Corey's the mastermind. Obviously, he's the mastermind behind WP Courseware. So we could get, just kind of a little collaboration going, and perhaps maybe make it a little bit better.
Yeah. And we've another one I've recommended is actually, I think it's called SCORM Cloud, and that will allow you to embed SCORM content into the units. But obviously, it doesn't go back to the learning record system part of it. But yeah, we could check it out.
Cool.
And there's another one. What is it? Grassblade?
That does sound familiar. Yes, Grassblade. Yeah.
Stores, that's an LRS that stores student progress and results. But
cool.
Yeah, mostly we've had entrepreneurial customers for the most part. So
yeah. But no, I appreciate the heads up, Ian. We can likely reach out to eLearning Freak. I think you gave us the name there in the chat window. So I will document that. And who knows? Maybe we can get this in a future version of WP Courseware.
Awesome. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah, great question.
For sure. We had a question from a multi-part question from Lionheart. Best ways to market the course, design features and customizable templates. And I'm not sure about this last part, course collaboration possibilities between other courses. I'm assuming that maybe refers to prerequisites.
Either that, or perhaps it could mean maybe collaboration between students, maybe just kind of interaction with, I know we've had this discussion before, but so starting with marketing. Yeah. How do you market a course? Nate, I'll let you start that one, and I'll probably add to it.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of content on the blog, on our website, flatplugins.com. And you can go through there. We've got 6-7 years of content, and a lot of it does relate to marketing. We also have the 10-step blueprint, which we started publishing I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
And you can look up those articles. We've got some stuff on our YouTube channel, which Ben has been hammering away at. And we're just at Fly Plugins on YouTube, but there's a lot of good marketing stuff on there. And you can kind of comb through it and see what works for you. But it covers everything from, reaching out to authorities in your niche and guest posting and, all sorts of good stuff. So.
Yeah. And I kind of, my idea, I think, for you would be to maybe, in your niche, kind of to become an authority, you need to contribute. So you've got to come in not selling or hard selling your course. You need to come in and help your community out, help answer questions, hard questions, add value, and that sort of thing. And then people will kind of view you as that authority, and the sales will kind of come naturally. And there's other ways to do that too. I mean, you can do that through lead magnets, or even, in fact, Nate just wrote an awesome blog post about recycling your course content. And you could take a piece of that course, maybe one of your videos or something, you can create a lead magnet with that, because you're giving that away for free and in return for an email address in which you can market to later. So there's a lot of ways to do that, but I firmly believe in giving stuff away for free. I just read a post yesterday from Neil Patel. He talks about how, Google Ads is getting very, very expensive. And I can affirm that, because we've recently been on a Google ad kick, and it is expensive. Marketing is expensive, but when you give something away free, you tend to draw an audience, you draw people in. And then, as I mentioned, you get viewed as an authority, an influencer in your niche, and then you can sell them something. So you've got to give value in your community first. You've got to give before you can get. It takes a little bit of time, and it takes patience, which is difficult for somebody like me. But but it's very possible, and I think it's the best way.
Yeah, I agree. And it takes work. I mean, producing free YouTube videos and blog posts, all that takes a lot of work, but yeah, it's worth it in the end.
Yeah. So question number 2 was templates, I guess, making WP Courseware look different way. So currently you can definitely manipulate course units, because they are custom post type. The courses page is also a custom post type, so you can manipulate both of those by building your own custom template. I believe we have a video up on YouTube for that. It is a bit outdated. I mean, it's still applicable. It's just kind of old. We probably could freshen that up a bit. Maybe I'll write that down as an idea for a future video. But Corey is working on the front end a little bit with WP Courseware. We hope to get course units looking a little bit better, more customizable, more filters, and things of that nature in there, so that you can customize it, make it look a little bit nicer. But aside from that, I think those are probably the only 2 places where you would want to create templates for WP Courseware. Corey, you might want to add to that.
No, I think that's a good explanation. We do, like you said, units or post types. So customizing your theme with regards to that single template for the unit post type is probably the best way to customize the unit page. The course page, same thing. And we do have some filters and hooks in there right now. We also have some template overrides for things like emails and account pages, things like that. So there are definitely ways to customize it. And the simplest way, apart from customizing like the single page, is just to do some CSS tweaks. So add some custom CSS to your theme, and more than likely you'll be able to customize most things to get them to look the way you want them. You could even use some JavaScript to manipulate and move things around if you want. So various ways, different methods, all will work with WP Courseware.
Yeah, and if it's just straight up like simple design of the course unit or the course itself, the outline, I guess, you've got the customizer feature.
That too.
Yeah.
So that's a really easy way to sort of just make quick changes on the fly.
Yeah, change colors, change fonts, things like that,
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then I think his last question was collaboration, course collaboration. So as Nate mentioned, courses can have prerequisites. So kind of that's the relational thing between courses. But if you're talking about maybe collaboration with students, there's actually, I believe it's a plugin put out by Wisdom Labs. It's a buddy press. integration. So BuddyPress is basically kind of making your site more social. I think there's a chat feature. It's not quite a forum, but it's just a way for people to interact and message each other and that sort of thing. But I believe there's a plugin out there put up by Wisdom Labs that can integrate WP Courseware with BuddyPress. So I think as far as collaboration, that's probably all we have. I thought at one time we did have a BBPress integration out there somewhere in the wild. I don't know if somebody had released that or something. Nate, do you remember?
Yeah, I can't find that one, but there was a BuddyPress integration, and it's pretty cool. I'll try to find it and post it in the chat. But it basically allowed students it kind of created like a social network for your course, and you could communicate. You could friend other people in your class or your course, and you could communicate directly. Yeah, I'll try to find that.
Okay. So we got a question here in our chat window from Edith. She says, so WPC isn't 100% customizable, ? So WP Courseware is customizable, as Nate and Corey just alluded to. You can use the customizer to manipulate things like button colors and things on the front end like that. So it is customizable. There's only so many things, I guess, for WP Courseware that are front facing and that require customization. So when you see a course unit, it's typically going to use your single post template, which is the same template as your blog post. So you might see things on there like, author and things of that nature. You can always use CSS to remove those. There's not a built-in feature for that specifically, but everything is pretty much customizable through the customizer. If you want to create a custom template, as I mentioned earlier, you're welcome to do that as well. The template just allows you to manipulate how things are laid out on the page. Not sure if that answers your question or not. Then your second question is, there unlimited courses and students? Absolutely. You can create an unlimited number of courses, modules, units, quizzes, students, questions. There's a question pool. There's everything. All of the features of WP Courseware are unlimited. There's no limitation to that, regardless of which license model that you purchase.
Yeah, because you do install it on WordPress, so it uses the default WordPress user system. And as far as just tacking on to what Ben said about customization, a lot of things in WordPress are customizable, and we try to cater to that customization pattern that WordPress uses, using themes and adding additional plugins. Like, there's lots you can do. And if there's something that you can't customize and you want to customize, just reach out to us. We'll try and help as much as possible and see if we can come up with a solution. Yeah,
I mean, if it's a basic, CSS snippet that you need, we're happy to do that. It's not too much trouble to do that. It's pretty simple. I mean, everything in WordPress is always customizable. It just depends on how much into the weeds you want to get. But I think everything out of the box is it's fairly. I would think it's fair to say that it's pretty much customizable.
And to her last question, is there live chat support? Currently, we do not offer live chat support, but if you have a question, you're welcome to submit it to our support request system, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can on that stuff. So
yeah, we have a turnaround time of 24 hours unless it's a weekend or a major U.S. holiday. We aren't staffed like a Microsoft or a Facebook or anything like that, obviously, but we have pretty quick turnaround, and our support is pretty stellar. I mean, we make sure we fix your problem. I mean, unless it's something super crazy, or if it's like an issue with another plugin, which has happened in the past, we will fix our stuff. We will fix our plugin. If there's bugs, we will definitely address them. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, I guess I was going to say, I guess we have answered, we got a submission from Jason, and I guess we've kind of answered both of these already. Okay. How it works with other themes, and trial period or money back guarantee. But yeah, basically, Jason, with any theme, well, I shouldn't say any theme, because we don't know what people put into themes.
Yeah. Never know.
But we've seen very, very few theme conflicts, right?
Yeah, there used to be a theme conflict a while ago that was pretty prominent. It had to do with our quiz timer, but I think we've resolved that, and I think we've engineered it on our end so that wouldn't happen anymore. There's sometimes just a conflict where it's not necessarily a bug in our plugin, and it's not necessarily a bug in their plugin or theme. It's just the way the code just conflicts, and we run into that. So sometimes we have to do a little dance and kind of do some conditional statements and only execute certain scripts on certain pages or certain elements and stuff like that, so that we can avoid those conflicts. But yeah, it's always a dance with scripts, because everybody uses similar libraries. For example, S3 Media Maestro uses the AWS library, and we've had so many conflicts with other plugins that use that. But Corey's done a great job of making some code do some cool stuff, and we only execute it when we need it, and it seems to have cleared up most issues. But you never know. I mean, it's WordPress. Yeah,
it's tough sometimes.
Yeah, it's open source, so you're gonna have that.
Yeah, looks like we got another question here. Pop in the Q&A from Edith. Says, what path of viewing videos would you recommend for a beginner? Not quite sure I understand the question. I'm assuming path of videos in a course, perhaps. What do you, Nate?
Maybe tutorial for WP Courseware, like our getting started playlist.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, we do have, I believe we have a playlist in YouTube for creating a course with WP Courseware. It probably needs to be freshened up a bit, but you can always look at articles on our support website, support.wpcourseware.com. And you did mention that you reached out to support. I'm not sure if you reached out logging into the member portal, but you have to log into the member portal. There's a form that you click on the support tab, and there's a form. And the reason we do that is because unfortunately our plugin has been unfortunately stolen, and it gets sold and kind of passed around the internet. So we want to make sure that we provide support for customers that are actual paying customers, and so that's why we kind of have to make people go through the member portal. We don't necessarily give out an email address for that. You submit a form, and then you'll get an email response. But the email response should come in fairly quickly. So as long as you've submitted through the member portal, you should be good to go. As far as though is setting up WP Courseware, if you have any questions, send them over through the member portal. Look at our support.wpcourseware.com site, and then check out our YouTube channel. As Nate mentioned, it's just Fly Plugins, and look for, I believe there's a playlist in there for creating an online course.
There is, yeah. It's I think it includes pretty much everything. Including 2 pretty comprehensive quiz videos. But yeah, you can check that out. It just kind of walks step by step through the process. Yeah.
There's tons of useful videos on YouTube. Ben has done a great job, so definitely go check those out.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some of these questions that are coming in too, I mean, they give me ideas for new videos. Like for example, today I should be releasing a video on certificates. I've been getting some questions on certificates, so we should have a video dropping sometime today or maybe early tomorrow morning for certificates. So.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that one. Yeah.
So another question that just popped in Q&A. Says, are you aware from your community if people partner up to do or partner up, they use partnership agreements or joint venture agreements? So yeah, I mean, absolutely. Online business, you can always have potential for a joint venture or partnership. I'm not sure if you're asking us directly if we do that or if we would be interested, but from an online business standpoint, absolutely. It's a great way to kind of get yourself out there even more. I'll give you a quick example. There's an entrepreneur we follow, one of our favorites, Pat Flynn. He just recently joined up with a guy named Caleb. He's a stellar video YouTuber guy, and they created a product called SwitchPod together. So a joint venture, and they each have a following, and so because of that, it just seems like they blossom even more. So I think partnerships and joint ventures are a really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, and it's the same like in our space. It's better if you think of your competitors as friends than enemies. Anybody you can hit up to help you promote your product it's beneficial.
It's even like, Ian asked the question earlier about the SCORM thing and, mentioned that, there's a plugin out there. I had no idea. But who knows, this could be a collaboration between our company and their company to create an integration for WP Courseware. And it benefits both sides, both parties. Obviously it'll benefit us. We maybe could get some sales from people who want to have a SCORM compliant online course. They'll get some sales because they are the SCORM folks. And we've created a bridge between the two. So there's sort of a joint venture, if you will, between the two.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we've done with Wisdom Labs is, they contacted us saying, hey, we want to develop this add-on, and can you walk us through how it should work for your customers? And yeah. Partners are good.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How's that Trello board looking, Nate?
WP Courseware integration with WishList Member is a question that Tammy sent in.
Awesome. Yeah, WishList. WishList is one of my favorite membership plugins. I think it has a special place in my heart because that was one of our first integrations. We got to meet Tracy and Stu, everybody knows Stu McLaren. And that was back in the day when he was part of WishList.
Tracy,
Yeah. But anyway, we've got an integration with them, and WishList is a great product. It's a great membership plugin, and we do recommend it. We have an integration with it, and so set it up, use it. It's a great product.
Do I need a specific theme? We've kind of talked about this already, but do I need a specific theme with WP Courseware to create and sell courses online? Which you do not.
No, you don't need a specific theme. But I do recommend, doing some research and do your due diligence. There's like Nate mentioned earlier, there's 20,000, 30, who knows how many 100,000 themes out there. And not to say that all of them are good or bad. Just make sure that you get something that fits your business, fits your model, does exactly what you want it to do. There's some themes out there that, they do everything. And unfortunately, that's just not a good thing. You don't want your theme to do everything. You don't want it to handle, functionality that a plugin should handle. And so you want your theme obviously to be lightweight, but useful, look nice, have a great interface. There's really, I don't think there's any themes out there that don't function with WP Courseware. So some good options for you could be, I believe WP Engine just acquired StudioPress. So StudioPress has the Genesis theme, which is a framework, and it's a great framework. There's a ton of Genesis child themes out there, which are really nice. Another great option, one that we use frequently, is Beaver Builder. Beaver Builder is a plugin plus a theme and a child theme, and it works great. But there's a ton of them out there. There's Divi, there's Elementor. I think Elementor is free. I don't know. Corey, do you have any particular recommendations? You used to actually build custom themes, so you probably have some info on this.
Every theme is different. Every framework is different. You've mentioned some good ones like Beaver Builder and Elementor and stuff like that. and those can get you a long way if you don't know development. Another one that I would recommend if you're working with WooCommerce at all, if you have the integration with WooCommerce and WP Courseware, Storefront is a great theme. Very customizable, very compatible with WooCommerce, and it looks great with WP Courseware, I found. And past that, though, if you're wanting to do a lot of advanced functionality, I would recommend getting a simpler theme, something that doesn't do everything, and then maybe hiring a developer to customize it for you. I feel like that's the most simple route. But if you're by yourself, you're wanting to do it on the cheap, there's some great themes, even on Theme Forest. You just got to be careful on what you choose. And again, we've mentioned some good ones. Beaver Builder is an excellent one as well. So I would go for one of those, and hopefully that'll get you as far as possible. So.
And I just had a thought. This could make for an interesting video for tutorial video for YouTube, but teaching people how to set up development environments to test this stuff out before they get, because not everybody's on a host that allows you to push things out from a staging site. And it's always good to test this stuff out before you send it into the wild.
Yeah, it's a great point, Nate. There's a product that we use. It's called Local by Flywheel, and it's absolutely 100% free. And it's a really cool tool because it's a full stack web server that you can set up on your computer. I believe it's compatible both with Windows and Mac. And you can spin up a WordPress site in literally 10 seconds. And it's really cool because you can test everything locally on your computer, on your local server, and you can break stuff and fix stuff. And that way you make sure that you're not doing that on your production site. A lot of people test on the production site. That is not the way to do it. I'm guilty. I've done it, and I've brought sites down. That's just not how you do it. Trust me. But like Nate said, a lot of hosting companies do not provide a staging site. And that's the purpose for a staging site is for testing. But if you don't have the staging site, use local. Even if you have a staging site, I would recommend local just because it's so much easier. You don't have to FTP and transfer files. Everything's just local on your computer. So great idea for a video, Nate. I think, maybe we can get one of those up soon.
That is a good idea.
Reduce site breakage rates.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So we've got another question just popped in our Q&A here from Edith. It says, which plugins do you recommend for ordering processing such as PayPal? She plans on having multiple ways to pay. So if you're going to be selling just online courses with WP Courseware does come with 2 payment gateways, PayPal Standard and Stripe. I tend to be biased towards Stripe because Stripe is so much easier to test, so much easier to set up, even for production. Yeah, PayPal, it's been around a while, and it obviously a lot of people use it. So you might want to consider having both options, just because I've heard talks at certain conferences for some pretty prominent, businessmen, and if you take PayPal out of the picture, you might reduce sales up to 50-60% because most people have PayPal and they use PayPal. So WP Courseware does come with those 2. If you're going to be selling other products, ebooks, maybe other digital goods, I would recommend going with a plugin like Easy Digital Downloads or WooCommerce. And both of those plugins are free. However, you do have to pay for additional payment gateways. They do come with some payment gateways out of the box, but you do have to pay for if you want like a Stripe integration, or if you want subscriptions and that sort of thing. Now, just to clarify, WP Courseware is compatible with both of those plugins. We do have integration with both, so it works well with both of those. Now, if you want to do something like membership site, a membership site, then I would recommend using a plugin like MemberPress or WishList Member. Both of those plugins are great for having a membership site, and we do have integration with both of those as well, so that you can sell courses alongside with your membership site. So those are probably the main plugins that I would recommend. But with payment gateway, I like Stripe. PayPal Pro. I'm sorry, PayPal Standard. You could use PayPal Pro. It's a little more pricey. And I think authorized.net is another good one. And it just all depends on really where you have your financial stuff set up. I know there's some countries that don't do PayPal. So you have, that's just another thing to think about. But Corey, you might have some more information. I know you've done a lot with payment gateways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on how you want your setup to be. Like you said, if you want just courses, you're just going to be charging for courses, just go with our WP Courseware with PayPal and Stripe together. Anything else past that, I would recommend what you said, EDD, Easy Digital Downloads, or WooCommerce. Anything memberships, you could use WooCommerce. They have additional plugins for memberships and subscriptions, but you could also go with something like MemberPress or WishList Member. Now the payment gateways, it all depends on what your customers use. If you're international, PayPal is a good option. Stripe is not supported in every country, so that's something to consider. But Stripe is definitely easier to use. It has a better user experience, but a lot of people are used to PayPal. So it just all depends on what you want to use, what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that as far as, at least in pre-sales, the biggest issue is what you mentioned, Ben, that, some countries just, they just don't, certain payment processors just don't deal with them. And that's really difficult for people. And I posted a link in the chat to the third-party extensions for EDD because they seem to have a lot of add-ons that cater to these unique payment processors in different countries. But yeah, it's kind of tough.
But if you're in the U.S., you're going to be fine with PayPal or Stripe, because that's really the skinny of it. So,
So got another question here in our Q&A. It's Edith. She's asking if there's a space limit for each module or session. She plans to use music and lots of videos. No, there's absolutely no limit. So basically, a WP Courseware unit, like I mentioned earlier, is really similar to like a post or a page. And so you can embed your content there. You can embed video, you can embed audio, you can write text, you can put links in there for downloads, that sort of thing. But there is no limit. Anything that you can put on a regular WordPress page, you can put into a course unit, and each module can have unlimited number of units. And so my recommendation to you is that I think that it's great. I think use video, definitely use video. Video is a big deal. In fact, we're doing a lot of research and work with online courses specific to video at the moment. And I highly recommend that you go forward with video. And you can insert audio files too. If you're doing stuff with music, you may have to, use an audio file like an MP3 or have a downloadable file or something like that. But any of that content can be placed within a course unit, and it's unlimited. You can put as much as you want. That's a great question.
Yeah, and Edith, just to let you know, WordPress is a self-hosted product, and so is WP Courseware. So wherever you decide to set up WordPress to use WP Courseware on a host, something like a WP Engine or a GoDaddy host, however much space you have, that's pretty much all you're limited by. So if you're going to host a lot of video, I would go with maybe an external service like either YouTube, Vimeo, or even Amazon, and embed your videos that way. And that way you don't have to worry so much about space on your server that you're hosting your WordPress and WP Courseware site on. So that would be my only recommendation.
Right. If you're on $7 a month hosting, you probably don't want 200 gigabytes of video on there.
Yeah, you might use up your space quite quickly in that instance. We do have another product as well called S3 Media Maestro, and that will help you embed video through Amazon and then display it directly on your site. So if you're looking into something like that, definitely check out our other product. S3 Media Maestro.
Smart
that's
choice.
That's a great point. Yes, absolutely. This video is going to be live, so I'll put a card right about here that talks about S3 Media Maestro.
Great questions, Edith. Love them.
Yeah, for sure. I think I only had one more email question.
Okay.
I'm quite certain. Johannes is asking about automatic course enrollment. I'm not quite certain what that's referring to, but we do have a few options for enrollment.
Yeah, we've got lots of it. We probably could make a full-on YouTube video just about enrollment. Man, that's another good idea for video. Yeah, so we do have automatic enrollment. Now, if you just have a WordPress website and you're not necessarily selling courses, but you want to allow people to register on your website and automatically get enrolled into courses, that is completely possible. You can set a number of your courses to automatic enrollment. You can also use a short code to create a button so that people can register for a specific course. And then you could take it to the next level. If you want to sell courses, you can use WP Courseware, because WP Courseware now has payment gateways, shopping cart. It's full-blown e-commerce product now. So you can sell online courses with WP Courseware.
Or make them free.
Yeah, or you can make them free. Absolutely. So you can, once your customer pays for a course or registers, they get enrolled automatically into the course. As I mentioned earlier, we've got integrations with a lot of other plugins like MemberPress, MemberMouse, WishList Member, S2 Member, WooCommerce, Easy Digital Downloads. There's a number of other ones I can't think of right now. But that enrollment can happen upon purchase of a product from those plugins. So if you're selling products with, let's say, Easy Digital Downloads, and somebody buys that product that's associated with the course, they will get automatically enrolled into that course. And then obviously there's enrollment functions within WP Courseware. So if you're just an admin in there and you want to just manually enroll somebody, you can do that. So there's a ton of ways to get a student enrolled into a course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll pop links to support the doc site. We have a lot of documentation on how all this works, and YouTube videos. So I'll pop those into the chat here. I think that's all I had in Trello from emails.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I was going to bring up too, we're pushing on 45 minutes, so I'll make it really quick. Gutenberg just released 5.3, and it looks like they did some really cool stuff with the Gutenberg editor. You can now insert a cover image with nested blocks or nested elements, so you can put in like a button or some text. And there's a few other bells and whistles that it has. And so that has been released, but it won't be a part of core until version 5.2, I believe, WordPress 5.2, that is.
And that's a little ways out.
Yeah. So if you want to take advantage of the Gutenberg stuff, then use the Gutenberg plugin. Otherwise, you'll be waiting until 5.2. But it looks like a really cool feature. I've yet to try it out, but it looks pretty neat.
So so that's in the plugin now, and that'll allow you to nest elements within like one larger block.
Yeah, so you can have a cover image, kind of like, like a full span cover image in a block, and then you can nest things within that. So you've seen some websites. In fact, we just built a recent website that has that huge cover image up top, and it's got a button there in the middle, like a play button for a video and some text. So you can now do that straight from Gutenberg, which is really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
becoming more and more powerful, which is great. But they still got a lot of work to do, I think. So
yeah, it's good that I think it's good that they're being careful though, and that was a smart move to keep the functionality in the plugin, as they progress, and then move it to core when they know it works. And
And I think there was one more thing I wanted to mention, just because I thought this was kind of pertinent. It could affect some of our users even. There was a lot of buzz about this, I think, yesterday, but there's this plugin called Social Warfare. I think it's a social media type plugin, and it had an exploit that or some kind of issue with it where it was being exploited in the wild. And so I think
vulnerability.
Yeah, there was a vulnerability. I think WordPress.org may have even pulled the plugin. I'm not sure. But if you use Social Warfare, disable the plugin immediately until you get the patch or the update. You don't want your site to be exploited. There's definitely a vulnerability in it.
Yeah, with a name like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually published a post recently on just trying to get people aware of the vulnerabilities with WordPress. It's on the blog at flyplugins.com/blog.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. I mean, even, we saw last week, Facebook and Instagram, they went down. I saw an interesting post yesterday, blog post, somebody talking about having your entire, business and your base, like on a Facebook page. And it's like, you need to have a website. You can't just rely only on Facebook, because what if it goes down just like that?
Yeah.
And you're completely lost. So, if you're out there listening and you don't have a website and all you use is, Facebook, get a website, get a WordPress website.
Yeah. The interwebs everything on the internet is run by businesses, and businesses can go out of business. And, if you don't have redundancy or control, it's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
We've been through that before.
Yeah. So, well, I think that's about all I had. I know our next office hours session is going to be April 26th. And wow, that sounds like a landline.
Wow. Sorry, guys.
Do those even exist anymore?
Do you drive a Trans Am?
Don't tell anybody.
Was it one of those phones that does it's like the rotary phone?
Yeah. So Edith just came on with one last question.
Okay.
And she says, can you recommend a course sample that we can view that's very easy to use and navigate through?
Yeah, you can check out our demo site, demo.wpcourseware.com. And you can register. It's super easy. You register, you immediately get into your course, and you can navigate through the course. Absolutely. Great question.
Great question. Thanks for all the questions today, Ida. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun answering them. So looks like we have our next office hours, April 26th. So as Nate mentioned, there's a sign-up form on the website. I believe it's just flyplugins.com, office-hours. And definitely look for us next month. We'd love to answer your questions. You can submit. There's a form on the page as well where you can submit questions, and we will document those, and we will definitely answer them. But you can join us live as well and ask questions live, just like we did today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have a replay of this one up within a couple of hours, plus the new registration link for the next webinar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Good stuff.
Well, thanks everybody. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your questions. We love answering them, and we hope to see you next month on our next edition of Office Hours. So from all of us, thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.